Hey, it's Tina Lorraine, your certified abundant. I can't talk today. Your certified abundant mindset coach and your ghostwriter guru. And I just wanted to come on today and talk about suffering is easier. That sounds crazy. Suffering is easier. It's never easier. But I wanted to come on and kind of just challenge you today with my coffee. I wanted to challenge you that even though you may disagree right off the bat that suffering is easier, that if you take a look at your life, you have probably succumbed to suffering and thinking that it's normal. And so I just wanted to come on and say, if you've been praying for God to change things in your life, you're praying for healing, you're praying for elevation, you're praying for abundance, you're praying for peace, you're praying for joy, you're praying for happiness, all the things, right? And God is faithful, God is true, and God is going to give you what you ask for. Why? Because you made a choice, and God has given us free agency over our lives to choose, right? So if you have chosen that you want to heal in certain areas, that you want joy in your life, that you want peace, that you want a new set of friends, that you want elevation, that you want abundance, that you want money, that you want a business, that you want the dreams of your heart, right? If you have been praying these things, when the change comes, first of all, don't expect some big, change, like, woo. The heavens, the skies parted, the rock was cracked, the water came pouring out the rock, the sea was parted. No, it's not necessarily going to happen that way. Well, 9 times out of 10 it won't these days. God usually works in subtleness at first. So although you might be trying to fulfill the dreams of your heart, and your dreams might be, big and impossible and, really dreamy and unattainable. A lot of times we want things that seem unattainable. They're in our hearts, but they seem unattainable. What you have to understand is that when the elevation comes, it's going to require you to change. The first thing about changing is that we have to change our thoughts and how we think. And that's probably going to be some of the hardest work you do is mindset work. But this is the good thing about change. Yes, it's hard. So what? Choose your heart. It's hard to suffer. It's hard to get up every day and hit that alarm clock and just go through life unfulfilled and clock into a job you're unfulfilled in and be around people you're unfulfilled with and, go back and start the whole day again. Do you know how crazy that is? Because your heart is fighting against that. But you are comfortable where you are. You're like, I'm just used to this. I'm used to my toxic friends. I'm used to the way I toxically think about myself, the way I think about God. So although I want change, it's too hard. So now I'm just kind of challenging you to choose your hard, is what I'm challenging you to do. So when you pray for this elevation, when you pray for change, when you pray for God to divinely order your life to come into alignment with what you see in your heart, because a lot of us see things in our heart, but we haven't fulfilled them because it's normal for us to be comfortable and we've gotten used to being complacent. And so therefore it's easier just to get up and hit the alarm clock and just, sleepwalk through the day. I understand it because I used to do it. But once you really start seeking change in your mind, yes, it'll be hard at the beginning. I just want to share this story really quick. I lead a gluten-free lifestyle. This is not something that I chose. When I was growing up, I was able to eat pastas and pastries, and I love to bake, and I was able to eat whatever I wanted to. But as I have aged, I've developed allergies. I went to get a iridology reading. It's like a little pin they do over your hand. It's a science. It really works, and they can tell what you're allergic to. And one of the things that I was really allergic to was gluten, and I refused to believe it. because I was like, all my life, I've been eating gluten. So I didn't believe it at first. But you know what happened? I kept suffering. And how did it happen? I had to keep doing research. And it came up that I had this thing called gluten ataxia. Gluten ataxia attacks your nervous system. I would eat like a pumpkin muffin from Dunkin' Donuts, one of my favorite things. I love all things pumpkin. And I would have a refresher with it in the morning because I used to teach, and I was teaching musical theater and every morning. And then eventually my energy left. Eventually it was hard for me to walk. Eventually it got to the point where I couldn't get off the couch. And if I did walk, it was like my head was pulling me back this way or that way. I felt like a bobblehead. You know those bobbleheads that, except it was very extreme. It was like I was dragging my head wherever I wanted to go. And I had to come to the place after research and all this. It was called gluten ataxia. I had to lead this lifestyle. First, I had to mourn. I had to mourn that I had to give up gluten, right? And that's something I want to encourage you to do. If you're seeking change and you see the changes start to happen in your life, mourn what you're giving up, even if it's toxicity of some sort, because I had to mourn the fact that I would not be able to eat pastries or bake the stuff that I used to bake, or even go out to eat the stuff that I wanted to eat, because in a lot of sauces, there's gluten. Gluten's in a lot of things, y'all. I had to retrain my mind to look at labels of everything. I had to look at labels. I had to shop at Whole Foods. I had to do research. I had to do all these lifestyle changes. But you know what? That's happened over the course of 7 years. And it could have been cut down to probably about a year if I hadn't been so double-minded. If I was always just stuck going, oh, it's really not gluten, so let me just eat some. And then making myself sicker until I got to the point where I had to just submit that this was something that I could not consume anymore. And, you know, that's what I kind of wanted to encourage you, that when you start seeking changes, mourn what you're giving up, because it's real to you. Even if it's toxic, if you have toxic friends that like to keep up drama, you're addicted to that. So that seems normal to you. So you're going to have to mourn the fact that you have to give up some friends in order to heal. And then you'll have to change your mindset. And no, you know, when it came to the gluten thing, I didn't do affirmations and all that, not in that area. I just kind of made up my mind that I didn't want to be sick anymore. And God gives us that, right? He gives us the choice to make up our minds. We are the agents that control our lives, because God has made us of agents of choice. That's what he does. You choose. He'll tell you what's good and what's bad, but ultimately you have to choose. And so I had to choose. Am I going to do what's good for me? And do I want to walk? Because this stuff attacks your nervous system, like I said. And eventually, if you keep consuming the gluten, it eventually will destroy it. Your nervous system will not heal. But through God's faithfulness, every time I did go back to the gluten and have to suffer, my body is still healing, to the point now it's still healing. But I've been gluten-free for about 3 years now. So yes, mourn what you're giving up, and then make up your mind that you want better. You can't be double-minded. If you're double-minded, you feel stuck. If you're double-minded, you're unhappy, because what's in your heart is not correlating with what's in your mind. And that's why you have to do mindset work. Because yes, it is God. Yes, it is divine inspiration. Yes, God is calling you to do these things, but it takes change. And the way you think about yourself is going to be the first changes you encounter. And you're going to find out some things about yourself and the way you think that ain't so great. So I'm just encouraging you to keep going with it, that although it might seem hard at the beginning, everything seems hard at the beginning when you think about it. So you might as well change for the good and do the hard stuff at the beginning so it can become seamless in your life. It's not always going to be hard. Just like when you start working out, if you do it for, even a month, it doesn't seem as hard as it was at the beginning. So that's the way I want you to think about the dreams and purposes that God puts in your life. Yes, you can manifest them. Yes, you can align to it. Yes, it is God. Yes, it is divine inspiration. Yes, it's going to take you changing. Yes, it's going to be hard at the beginning. But eventually, it will be seamless. You will think a different way. You will heal. You will start to experience seamless joy and peace and happiness and abundance. And you will be grateful and thankful. And you will change. And the biggest thing is you'll be proud of yourself. That is the biggest thing. That's the biggest reward. God is always loving you and proud of you, but you'll be proud of yourself. And then you'll elevate to something else. But then you'll know at the beginning, the changes might be hard, but I can get through it. But if you just continue to hit the alarm clock every day and just march through your life like the Walking Dead, you remember that show, The Walking Dead? I don't know if it's still on, but if you continue to march through your life like it's the Game of Thrones, well, I like the Game of Thrones, but like you fighting all the time, you're just not happy, it's toxic, and you're just not satisfied. You don't feel fulfilled in your heart. You don't feel purposeful. You don't feel divinely led. If you continue to make that your norm, then you'll stay double-minded and stuck and small, and you won't be satisfied with yourself at all. And because you're so divinely and uniquely made, whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you think it or not, you are. You are a divine being. You are uniquely made. You are wonderful. You are special. You are worth every last dream that God has put in your heart. And yeah, it may seem impossible, but it really isn't, because God said that he can do above all you can ask or think according to the power that lies within who? In God? No, in you. Power's already there. It's whether or not you're aligned to it. It's whether or not your thinking is aligned to it. Your belief system, is that aligned to that power? The power's there. You just haven't struck the match in that area that you want to change. Or you keep sitting on the fence going, I don't know if I want to change. It's too hard, God. Make a choice. Make up your mind that you want better. I don't care how small or teeny tiny the choice or the change is, or how big and seemingly impossible it is. Because you know what? Whether it's tiny or huge and impossible, either way, God is the gauge, and there's nothing impossible with God, right? And God is inside of you at all times, whether you acknowledge it or not. That divinely led inspiration is always inside of you. That's why you're seeking to change in the first place. When you change for good, that is God. That is God inside of you. That is God loving and telling you, look, I got a better way for you. So align to that divineness. Do what God tells you to do. And it comes in small things. God's not going to beat you up upside the head and just take everything away at one time. But when stuff starts changing, when you feel like you need to drop those friends, or when you feel like you need to make that business plan, or start outlining that book, or start researching how to open up that dance studio, or whatever, start seeking out, if you want to be married, when those changes start to happen, they're going to start happening in your mind, in your belief system. So just allow it, align to it. Let God work through you, and don't go against God. Don't hit the alarm clock tomorrow and sleepwalk through your dreams, okay? Again, my name is Tina. I am your certified abundant mindset coach and your ghostwriter guru. And I'll be jumping on here and there on my little lives. But I love you guys, and I hope and I pray that this message finds some seed in your life, whether it's a seed of inspiration to act, or whether it's just a seed of inspiration to think on. Whatever it encourages, I know it's divinely led, and I love you. And I wish for you to have a happy, peaceful, wonderful, prosperous, abundant, lovely day. And, share with me your testimonies, your comments, whatever you got to share. I'm here for you. I will answer you. And I love you guys. So have a great, great, wonderful day. And now I have to figure out how to end this live. Anybody know how to end a live? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Let's see. see. Oh, guys, I don't know how to end this. How do I end it, y'all? I'm older. I'm not a TikTok baby. Somebody tell me how to end it. Oh my goodness. Tell me how to end it, guys. Is it here? Swipe. I don't know how to end this. Chelsea, how do I end a live? This is my daughter, y'all. This is my daughter. She gonna tell me how to end the live. What is it, TikTok?
Yeah.